Welcome to Generally Divided, a YouTube video podcast where we talk about all things pop culture, movies, videos, games, blah, 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 whatever you want from two different generations, hence Generally Divided. Sometimes we agree, but most of the time we are kind of divided. Get it? What are we talking about today?
Today is You Scream, I Scream, We All Scream, all about Scream 2022. What is it, on Amazon Prime?
Well, it's in wide release. It was in theaters. It's going to be out in Redbox soon. We watched it on Amazon Prime. That just happened to be the most convenient method for me. So
they are not a proud sponsor, unfortunately.
Not yet. Amazon, would you care to sponsor Generally Divided?
Hey, that would be awesome. So today's topic is Scream 2022, the newest installment to the Scream movies. And honestly, it was a really good movie. I personally haven't seen all of them. I've seen little bits of them, TV, every time TV something comes on and just going through. I haven't exactly gotten to enjoy them all, given this new movie, it was really good. I'm going to go back and just to catch up and see everything I missed, watch all the old ones. But what did you think of it today?
Well, it was very much like the original movie. And it's funny because it's the huge thing that they make mention and kind of poke fun at themselves, kind of like what a lot of movies are doing, like, say, Matrix Resurrections. They kind of made fun of the fact that no one asked for this Matrix Resurrections. Of course, they were talking about a new video game inside the movie, but they were kind of making fun that no one asked for the new Matrix movie, but yet there it was, right? So it was within Scream 2022. Of course, it's just called Scream. It doesn't have a sequel number because, like in the movie, it's more of a reboot, remake, or what they're calling the term of the day, a requel. What's that, everyone? Requel. Not a prequel, not a sequel. It's a requel's kind of like a cross between a remake and a reboot, a retelling, but also has continuation to the original movies. Like, what other movies would you consider requels?
Star Wars, definitely considered a requel.
Like the Force Awakens trilogy?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, the Force Awakens trilogy. I'd also consider the Jurassic World to be a requel.
So basically, it's told within the same universe as the original movies. So it could even feature legacy characters from the movie, especially with the newest Jurassic World Dominion. It brings back the Alan Grant character. It brings back the other characters from the first movie, Laura Dern's character, but that's beyond the point. We're talking about Scream. In Scream 2022, they also have these legacy characters come back. They have the original three main characters portrayed by Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and oh goodness, what's the other one's name? Courtney Cox. There you go. I knew it.
Yeah, I had that name in my head. I can't match the names for the characters, so I wouldn't have been able to tell.
So they bring back those three characters, and it's not a spoiler because I'm sure you probably knew that. They didn't try to hide it like they hid things in most Marvel movies or whatnot. So it was out there. People knew that they were going to be in there. But their roles in it were interesting, would you say?
Yes, it was very interesting. Honestly, this movie took a lot of leaps, making itself it was very bold, saying that it's not a sequel. It's not a retelling. It's not a reboot. It's just its own thing. It's a requel. And it kind of, for some things, lays it a little thick, making sure everyone knows that it's a requel.
You mean they don't mention it enough?
No. They make sure it's beaten over the head with a stick. But I mean, there is the elements of horror and I feel there was a little bit of comedy in it too, which I don't know if that ties into the old ones. If the old ones had any element of like trying to make you laugh.
The original movies, I will say I watched the original Scream, of course, who did it with Drew Barrymore at the very beginning when she gets killed. And that was a very nod to like Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's famous movie where they kill off the major star in the first few scenes of the movie. Of course, she gets killed in the opening scene. And they kind of played homage to that. A little different, of course. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. But it was they did a good job of working in the original Scream movie to it. And it was kind of comedic, the original one, because, well, to me, all horror movies are kind of comedic because I don't get scared in them. So I laugh a lot. Maybe that's my defensive mechanism. I don't know. But
I can see you running away from something laughing.
I'm scared. No, but it was less of a horror movie because it wasn't like what you consider a horror, more of a slasher movie. It had on the genre of slashers, but I think a lot of slashers have some comedic element to them. I will say, I don't know if it's going out on a limb, but I did not like the ending.
I can agree with you on that one. The ending left me a little bit like wanting more.
It was a very anticlimactic, for sure. I apologize to the writers and directors of Scream, but that's it. It was kind of like, meh, okay, whatever. It's over now, good. It did play on a lot of tropes of, building up, using the music to add suspense, and then closed door, nothing happens. And it happened, they build up the music, build up the suspense. Is something going to be there when the door opens? And sure enough, there was. And so they used that trope a lot, which is cool. I enjoyed that because I think music and the score really heightens every movie if used effectively. And it was used pretty good in this movie. I enjoyed that part of it. But back to the ending, and I'm going to say some spoilers right now. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to know how it ends, pause, go watch, come back. Or mute. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Best advice we can give you: if you don't want to see spoilers, don't click on a movie title screen when you haven't seen that movie, because there's a possibility there will be spoilers.
Yeah, I guess so. But if I was writing the movie or being the director of this film, I would have let the two villains get away with it. Because to me, that would have been a bigger twist than who the villains turned out to be in the movie. Fine, you give us a twist that those are the two. See, I'm not even really spoiling it because I'm not saying who it is. But
they're gonna figure some parts out.
So if you let the villains get away with what they're doing, I think that ending. Maybe you'll give us an alternate ending in when the movie comes out with bonus content. I don't know, but imagine had they gotten away with it and what that could have led to, and more movies for you guys, more cash, But to me, that would have been much more interesting and more, oh, wow, they got away with it. They did it. That's different. That usually doesn't happen.
The bad guys won.
The bad guys won, yeah. So that would have been more interesting in my eyes.
Yeah, I think with the ending, they were trying to finish it off and give the legacy characters their win. Because it's kind of like a constant joke that they keep coming back.
Yeah, but if you think about it, not all of them won.
No, not all of them won. That is true. But
why, if not all of them, why any of them?
That is true. No, I was thinking that. I kept saying every single one of them is going to go. And they made it look like that too.
Well, because like you said, I think when you were watching it, is that they're passing the torch, right, to the next generation of the Scream franchise characters. Had the villains gotten away with it, the torch would have been passed for sure. But as it was, they held on to it. Hopefully, there's something that can be done with, but I don't think so.
Well, I think they can. And the constant thing I keep seeing is that with this newest movie, I didn't see the other one, so I don't know the whole story. But with this one, they made it very clear that anybody can be the villain.
Yeah.
It can be anyone in the friend group. It can be anyone. And they have a set method, too. And it's talked about in the movie.
They're following the rules of surviving a horror movie.
Yeah. Right. And they have a set method. They have, okay, how do we find the killer? Who is the killer? And what are we looking for in our group? And they kind of do a whole detective thing. So with this movie, I think they're really setting it up so that they can make another one. And it's going to be even harder for the legacy characters because the legacy characters are done. So they don't want anything to do with it.
Well, because if you think about it, the one connection that they still had to the town is no longer there, right? They to say it, they knifed out that character. They severed the connection with that character. So now they no longer have a reason to go back there like they did in this one. So they got rid of that. So maybe it is still a passing of the torch, but I still would have liked the ultimate twist ending that the villains got away with it. Because to me, that would have been different. That would have been exciting. I'd been like, oh, that's cool. I want to see where they can go with this. Where, it still followed the same ending where they survived. They went on to live happily. Well, not happily, like whatever. They lived their lives,
PTSD.
but they survived it. So I just wish it would have ended differently.
Yeah, no, I really honestly I agree with you there. I think they could have easily just changed the whole story, changed the whole ending, made it so that the villains win. And I mean, they could have even left some of the new characters in to survive, and that's now passing on the torch. Now the new characters are having to deal with this. The legacy characters are gone.
They kind of did leave some of the ones that you thought were dead. They left them alive.
Yeah, no, so they left some of them. So that was a nice surprise.
Yeah, like the performances from Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, the two main characters, you call them the sisters in this. That was their performances were good. I appreciated their take on it. It wasn't just the easily. They were the more stronger female leads, I guess. So they weren't just easily. They weren't the damsel. They weren't easily pushed around. And I will say though, the one of the characters who played was a female killer, Ghostface. She could take a beating. I didn't understand how they kept getting back up from everything that they were hitting them with, and it was just like, wow. What is up with that? So that was interesting. I mean, I guess so. I mean,
she was superhuman.
I guess they had armor underneath that mask, or she was some sort of superhuman. Yeah, seriously. But I appreciated those performances. I mean, Jack Quaid did a good job, and I didn't recognize him because I knew him from the Amazon show The Boys, where he played Huey, but he didn't look like that to me. I don't know why. He looked way different. Maybe I just don't have a knack for faces. I don't know, but it was a good movie. It was okay. It was good. I don't want to say I like the original better than this one. They were about the same. Wasn't really a big fan of them to begin with, but I watched it. It was a good. You don't got nothing else to watch. Watch it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a good movie to put on at night. Definitely can scare everybody with that if you have little kids.
Yes, you're letting your little kids watch the movie. Don't do that. Don't
traumatize them.
No, that's a general divide right there. Gen X says no to that. Gen Z doesn't care.
Yes, that is the general divide. We had to have one tonight.
So if you watched Scream 2022, before I get this out of here, the one movie that I will say, the series that did a requel in this kind of vein is Halloween. So the movie original Halloween, John Carpenter's version, came out. And then there's subsequent sequels to that, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, 4, blah, blah, up to 20, whatever, how many versions there were. But when Halloween 2018 came out, that basically retconned everything. And it was like a direct continuation from the original movie. So I thought that was really cool. And it was the first time I really seen a major retcon in the series, because they basically scrapped out everything else that happened in between and said, okay, no, this is how we're going from here, from this point forward. And then, of course, Halloween Kills, and the next movie was coming out down the line, the third trilogy of that, which is supposed to be the final version, but we'll see. But that was really Halloween. Cool. Till next Halloween. So that was really cool. So kudos to the director of Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018, because I really appreciated how you guys did that. But yeah, so let us know in the comments what you thought of Scream 2022, or what you thought of regular Scream. What are the questions you have for people?
Let us know what else you guys want to hear from us. We love suggestions. We love hearing from you guys. Write it down in the comments and let us know.
Or we're just going to pick topics that you care about.
Yes, that is the plan. We will continue to do that until you guys give us some ideas.
So until that time, we will see you guys later.